Yo, what's going on, meatheads? We got a confession to make. We got another bike. Holy crap, it's so small compared to the Road Glide. Woo! This is a different, holy shit, son. Oh, I feel like I'm sitting on my nuts. So, meatheads. So, as I said at the very beginning of this video, we have another bike in the stable. This is not my bike. This is my wife's bike. She has finally decided that she wanted to get on a bike herself. And she decided she wanted one of these. This is a Kawasaki ZX. Yeah, a Kawasaki Z400. Only has 3,384 miles, and it's got an exhaust, as you guys can probably hear. And actually, this is my first time being on a sport bike in longer than that, 5 years. My last sport bike was a Yamaha MT-07, or at the time it was an FZ-07. So this is definitely a flashback to that bike for sure. A little bit more aggressive position than that bike, but still, this is super cool to be on again, or be in this kind of a position again. I'm not gonna lie, that exhaust sounds good. This clutch is definitely so much lighter than the Road Glide that it's kind of weird. It's like, is this really a clutch? Like, fuck me, it's so light compared to like how even Harley's hydraulic clutches feel like they're for the arthritic, or not for the arthritic. You gotta really try to feel it out when you're giving it. Like, this feels like there's nothing there until it's like, oh, yep, now it's starting to pick up and go. The responsiveness is quick though on that throttle. That's really nice. Nice chopper. I don't know, I'm happy for her. I'm glad she decided. She'd been looking at a Z400 for a while. She said that was a bike that she sat on one a while ago, and oh man, I just feel like when I play the brakes on this thing, I feel like I'm just gonna fly up and over the handlebars, to be honest. But she's been looking at one of these for a while. She sat on one out in Rapid City when we were out there for Valentine's Day, and she was like, oh, this is such a light bike. I like the clutch. I like everything about it. And we've been kind of looking around to see if there'd be one available around us, and every time we looked, we went to a dealership, looked online, we just couldn't find one. And then this week, she was just on Power Broker's website to see what was available, and sure enough, there's a Z400 for sale, a used one, or on consignment, I should say. So she just decided, you know what, let's go check it out. Or I went and checked it out on Thursday, and then it just kind of spiraled from there, and now we're here. I'm following really close to this tractor. I don't really like it, but oh, it's got some good little sounds that it makes. I mean, it's a Leo Vinci or a Vince exhaust, so it's got some decent little pops and marbles and whatnot. So it's a pretty cool little bike. I like it. It's super light. The rear tire definitely needs to be replaced in the future. We're waiting on the Power Brokers where we bought it from is going to be getting us a new rear tire for only like $100 or so. So I mean, I'll take it. It needs that for sure. The front tire is in good condition. She's just I like the little pops and marbles from this 400. It's a little farty, but it's got ABS too, which is nice. The last thing I need to do is try and pass on up a hill and have a fucking car just kill me right now. I don't know how long she's gonna keep this bike. I have a feeling she'll keep it for at least a year. Well, we'll see. She had a Sportster 1200 that, with a lot of different circumstances, it just wasn't a good bike for where we were living and her experience level and her comfort level. So, you know, we learned from that. We stepped back a ways, and we decided that, you know, if she was going to go to a bike, that it should be a little bit smaller bike. She still scoots. I'm just watching for anything that looks out of the ordinary, like if it overheats or anything. That's where I'm curious about. Horn works. I don't know, I think this is going to be a really fun bike for her to learn on. Well, she has the skills. I think she gets down on herself a little bit more than she's willing to admit, but I think that she has the skills to pick up riding again really easy. She's not slow though, she's got some kick. Oh, I love it. A little farty thing. This will be the interesting test. Is I'm just happy for her. She finally found a bike that she's like, I think she'll be very comfortable learning on this. It's not overbearing. It's still got plenty enough power that like you can scoot on it, that you're not going to feel like, oh my god, I'm underpowered, I'm going to grow out of this bike so quick. And you know, from my perspective, this is actually, it's pretty damn comfortable. I mean, I'm 6 foot even, and I'm about 230, and I'm not like, I definitely like, it's a different seating position than the Road Glide by all means, but it's not uncomfortable. It's definitely a lot of wind going on right now because I don't have the full fairing and stuff in front of me, but it's still a very fun bike so far. 48.8 mpg right now, 52.9. I like that does have that little readout, if you guys can see that, of like the MPG. I don't know, it's a fun little bike. Yeah, you can definitely tell that rear tire needs to be rounded out a little bit. I think the previous owner was a little bit scared to lean it over. It's definitely gonna have to shake off some rust for me. I was a little bit like, how do I lean this fucking thing compared to like my Road Glide, where I got my hands up and I'm pushing more with my body, you know, pushing a little bit differently and all that, whereas this is, I'm very much so like down here and I'm like, yeah. I don't know, I like it. Give me a wave. Yeah, he did. I'm a sport biker now again. Hey, nee. Woo! She can get up to 100 though. Honestly, I think it's about as quick as that. I don't think it's as quick as my Road Glide if it's in the power band, but I mean, it's so different because it's so much lighter. It's such a light machine that it's definitely a different riding experience. Honestly, I think it's fun. It's got good engine braking to it. You let off that throttle, it just like slows you down. Oh yeah, and then when you put your feet up on the pegs, tippy toes, this is literally right back to my MT-07 days, back to my younger years before I got old and boring. Suspension is actually really nice too. It's not too stiff. The bumps are like basically non-existent. That's what Japanese bikes do well. do well is that their suspension setup is always really plush. It's not too stiff in one area and too soft in another. It's just right, you know. You stand up on it. Oh yeah, you can stand up on it pretty easily. Big bump. Oh yeah, that's pretty decent. It handles that really well. Positive side of a bike like this as a used bike, and I've always had great times with used bikes, that you don't really have to baby them too much. Like you do, you don't want to like thrash them too hard, but you don't have to do like a break-in period or anything. Harley rider back on a sport bike. Oh, say it ain't true. How could he ever disappoint Harley Davidson like this? Harley and Davidson. I'm happy for her, honestly. I think that she's going to have a great time learning on this bike, and it's not going to be too intimidating for her. It's pretty linear power band. It doesn't make a hell of a lot of power, but it definitely makes a fair amount of power. So I'm not going to disclose how much she paid for it. I'll just say that it was under $5 grand for it. So it's under MSRP for a brand new one. 33, almost 3,400 miles on it. Like it's just broken in, but it's got plenty of life in it for sure. And like I said, it just needs a new tire, I think, is realistically what it needs. And I don't know, it doesn't have any body damage. So, you know, that was the thing, is that we saw one somewhere else, but they wanted more than it would be brand new. I think it even had more no, it had less miles than this, about half the miles, but still, I'm not going to document her learning process and her growing process, you know, because I don't think that she would personally like that. I'm going to keep that kind of separate from YouTube and let her share it if she wants to, but I'm going to kind of keep this on the down low, because she's tried riding on a bike before, and like I said, it just wrong bike, wrong set of scenarios, wrong place of living that it's hard to learn from, and you know, it just was a little bit too much for her. So I'm not going to judge, and I don't judge, because I'm happy the fact that she's actually going and trying it again, you know, because a lot of people, if it doesn't work out, they just give up and they don't ever try it again. But for her, the idea of not ever trying again was just as bad as failing. So I'm glad that she was able to make a decision on a bike that's really not a huge financial obligation, and that it's honestly just a fun little bike. Anyways, guys, I think that's going to do it for this video. We still got the Road Glide, nobody worry. Nobody get all upset about it. We still got the big bike, but we got a little bike now, a little farty one. So until next time, guys, I hope to see you in another video. I hope you stick around. I hope you subscribe to the channel, and so that way we can get to 1,000 subscribers. But until then, guys, till the next one, peace out. Hit maxes, evade taxes.